Hey, it's Dren talking to the camera once again, and hopefully there are people on the other side of it. Today I thought it'd be cool to talk about using your home space to record in, because a lot of us are recording in places that aren't purpose-built studios. And if there's one big upgrade that I would make, the next big upgrade I would make would be for a new room. But I do find a way to use my house. I'm in the basement of a house, and sometimes to get different sounds from placements around amplifiers and guitars, I will use my hallways, my basements, and my stairs, and put mics in different weird places, the bathroom. So I've got some different placements that I use, and I thought I'd talk about how I did that in the record that I just released here last week called Terrace, where I've got literally hundreds of guitar tracks. I know we've talked about this before. If you've seen some of the other videos, you know I've gone on and on about this, but I thought this was a good subject just to talk about different places in the house you can put microphones and try and get some different sounds that aren't in plugins. Anywho, okay, so now I'm going to play some of these different placements. All right, and here is the session. Here is the console settings for the UA Apollo. I was using the Apollo. I was using the first 4 channels because those are all unison inputs. I would usually match the microphone to a different preamp for all 4 of those channels. And you can see here I still have these labels. We have to do a little detective work because when I went and recorded all those hundreds of tracks, I didn't name the tracks as I went. I was just too wrapped up in the recording. Didn't have time to slow down and name every track as I went. Okay, so here's the video showing you where all these placements are. Then it'll make sense. So here's that video. So this gives you an idea of how far away the Stairway mic was from the amplifier. Here's where the Stairway mic was, at the top of the stairs, mic at the bottom of the stairs. So here's the mic placement for the landing mic. This is halfway up the stairs. I often use this amethyst violet mic, cardioid mic. And if you can hear that, I was competing with the sump pump sounds for almost most of my recordings. So amethyst mic, landing up here, amp is right there. Coming down. Here I am where the amp placement usually is. I usually had a ribbon mic. This is the AEA R92. That one was usually sitting pretty close to the amp. That was my ribbon sound. You'll see it in the settings in the DAW. So this is about where it was. Pretty close. It's about a foot from the amp right now. So here I am at the bathroom mic. This is a JZ Vintage 11. I would put usually in here. This is directly across from the amp. So the amp is shooting right across the hallway into this bathroom. Bathroom was not as cluttered as it is now, and I got a little reverb sound out of that bathroom by just blasting right into there and using that microphone. So there's the other weird mic placement. Okay, now we're back. Bathroom guitar, we saw where the bathroom was. That's channel 1. Ribbon mic, we saw the AEA R92. That's channel 2. We saw the Omni Stairs mic at the top of the stairs. That's Omni Stairs, channel 3. Channel 4 is the violet hallway landing microphone. So halfway up the stairs, that's that microphone. So that's how we have to remember it, because I did not label any of these tracks. So let's just get a listen to this so you can hear the part of the song I'm playing for you. Okay, so with this part, you can hear, first let's just hear all these different tracks of this one part, just this single note being played. So all these are doing the same thing. All right. So here is the first one, channel 1. So this is our bathroom microphone. Here's what that sounded like. And again, that's the amp pointed across the hall into the bathroom with a microphone in the bathroom. Okay, here is number 2. This one is our R92 near the amp. This is the closest microphone to the amplifier. All right, here is number 3. This is our Omni at the top of the stairs. You can hear a little more room sound and a little bit of distance. All right, and then here's 4, and that is our mid-stairs landing. This is the violet condenser, a little hotter than some of the other microphones. And it goes on. This is a different guitar that I did the same thing with. So let's hear that for a sec. Just a different guitar. And then the R92. Then Omni. Top of stairs, and then mid stairs. Again, just different guitars. Each one of these is a different guitar. So there you go. Getting different sounds from different places around the amplifier, moving things around. All right, what is this? This little one gives a nice difference between the sounds a lot more. So here is the bathroom mic. It's pretty quiet, you can see. And then here's the second mic input, probably the AEA. And then here's the third mic. That sounds like the top of the stairs, and that's the mid stairs. And if we just hear those together, you get all that. And I do have those going through a bus with reverb. If we took those off, how would they sound? There you go. Add them back in. Okay. So really what I'm getting at, and I forgot to put in the original recording, was that we could all try to be a little bit more like Jimmy Page. Listen to something like the first Zeppelin album. This is actually my very first copy. You can see the little drawing that someone had done on my record. Yeah, it says fire and then pop or something. Just listening to this for a communication breakdown. It's a terrific sound. It was a tiny amp they put into a little vocal booth. Led Zeppelin 2. This one has the most amazing guitar tone in Live and Love and Made. I couldn't ever figure out how to do that. I never sounded right playing that riff until I realized it was a couple of guitars playing that riff. But the sounds that he blends together are incredible. And these are just small amps being recorded with smart distances, creative distances. This record, the fourth one, but apart from something like Rock and Roll, which has one of the most unique rock guitar sounds I think I've ever heard, especially the solo part. Listen to something like Four Sticks. That has got, Four Sticks has got an incredible guitar sound. The Ocean has got just this tremendous room sound. And then my favorite Zeppelin record, Physical Graffiti. This has things like 10 Years Gone is one of my favorite Zeppelin songs. And it's got some amazing guitar sounds. I'm looking at the little, this comes inside of the record if you had it when you bought it. Sick Again is one of the ones that I really listen to for that guitar room sound that he's getting. I showed you that I was using my stairs. That's exactly what they were doing at Headley Grange when they were recording. They were putting, at least for the drums, they're putting microphones. Oops, I just dropped something. Putting microphones up on the second level, or at least in the landing above, in the stairs above the drum kit. And that's how they got some of the sound there. So just encouraging you to try different ways of putting mics in rooms and getting different sounds with these combinations. It doesn't always have to be a 57 crammed up into a Marshall or a Fender. Cool. I guess I'm going to talk about amplifiers. I took some pictures here of them for you. The one that I used the most was probably the Roland, the little tiny JC. That's a really nice amp. I used to have a 120, really, really loud for recording. So it's great for having a small little amp. It gets plenty loud for me in the hallway. I got the Fender Deluxe Reverb. Again, plenty loud for here. I never turn it up past 3 or 4. Then I use this crazy Yamaha, this solid state Yamaha. Stays nice and clean usually, apart from a little knob fuzz, which I should probably clean up. But yeah, it stays nice and clean, and that's got a unique sound to it. It does resonate in some strange frequencies, so you just have to watch that. I believe it was of the Rivera era when he was designing these amps for Yamaha. So lovely amp, just kind of makes some strange ringing sounds in the cabinet sometimes with certain frequencies. Then also the PV Backstage, the Backstage Pro, because it looks pretty pro. That's a nice other solid state amp just to get very clean sound out of it. Oh, and once in a while, especially for featured lines, melody lines in this, I would use the little vibro champ. That'll get dirty pretty quickly as you turn it up. So try it and not turn it up too much. So it usually got a close mic treatment, but that can get me some nice clean sounds too. And I just love that amp, especially the vibro on it. The tremolo on that amp is just tremendously lovely. I love that thing. One thing to note, I also have, I don't know if you can see it over here behind me under the green light. That's one of those Universal Audio aux set-top boxes. Maybe I'll put a picture of one here so you can see it. I really thought that was going to help me with a lot of clean sounds. And right now I have it hooked up to a Music Man head. It's a Music Man 50 RD. And so I've got that plugged into the Universal Audio aux. I thought with an amp with so much headroom that I would get a clean sound out of it. I cannot, for the life of me, get a clean sound out of that aux. It just gives me less headroom than what I would imagine, especially with an amp like the Music Man. And I've tried it with the Deluxe Reverb, tried it with a few other amps. I cannot get a super clean sound out of it. When I've asked about it, I don't have any good answers. I've looked on forums. If you know how to get a good clean sound, I mean really clean, like what I was playing you here, a clean sound out of that thing, I'd love to hear about it. I like to use it for dirty sounds. I'll plug in overdrive, distortion, fuzz boxes into that Music Man and run it through the aux. It's great for that stuff. Great for Marshall tones, all sorts of different things. But clean tones just are not happening on that thing. All right, so there's the video about all the different places where I could record guitars here in the house. I've even used my dining room and my living room, which I talk a little bit in one video. So you can hopefully find places that you can get some different sounds. All right, that's all.